WWE CCO Paul Triple H Levesque seemingly takes a shot at AEW star Will Ospreay for not signing with WWE and choosing to sign with All Elite Wrestling instead. We'll let you know what he said. Plus, WrestleMania is less than 24 hours away, and according to a new report, there's going to be plenty of twists and turns when it comes to the main events of both nights of the Showcase of the Immortals. Speaking of WrestleMania, what is the status of big legends rumored to be involved in the show, that being John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Undertaker? We'll let you know about that. Plus, Roman Reigns, is he reportedly, possibly, set for a hiatus coming out of WrestleMania? And what does that mean about one of the finishes to the main events this weekend? The Rock talks about plans for WrestleMania 40 changing and pivoting from himself versus Roman Reigns to him teaming with his cousin. Cody Rhodes has a bit of drama prior to WrestleMania, as he has revealed on social media that his tour bus caught fire. His wife, Brandi Rhodes, has discussed her exit from All Elite Wrestling. The talent in WWE have reportedly, they're excited to have their first WrestleMania without the involvement of Vince McMahon. We'll let you know the details about Vince having no influence on the first WrestleMania ever. Talent, as I mentioned, is going to Philadelphia this evening and be involved in the Hall of Fame ceremony. And there's some details about The Undertaker possibly inducting a really significant person into the Hall of Fame. LA Knight and AJ Styles gets into a brawl ahead of their WrestleMania match this weekend. Bayley announces that unfortunately Paramore are not going to be performing for her at WrestleMania, and we could see an unusual finish to a title match this weekend at WrestleMania. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. But first, a reminder, we are going to be live for both nights of WrestleMania 40 for watch-alongs and post-shows. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, click those notification bells, and you'll be notified when we go live for the shows on both nights. But let's start off talking about Triple H's possible shot at an AEW talent. Now, it's a big and busy weekend for WWE's Chief Content Officer, and he seemingly fired a shot at AEW star and former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Will Ospreay. Now, at Full Gear last year, Will Ospreay was revealed as AEW's latest blockbuster free agent signing. After completing his New Japan Pro Wrestling obligations, Ospreay officially debuted for All Elite Wrestling in a highly praised bout against Konosuke Takeshita. Ospreay has stated in interviews following his arrival that he chose AEW over WWE due to their schedule and the pay that they offered him. Well, appearing on the live Pat McAfee show from WWE World in Philadelphia, WWE CCO Triple H seemingly addressed Ospreay's reasonings for choosing another company over WWE. He said, quote, "If they're not here to be all in on this, like when I see people that come out of trying to make it, then they pick the job where they go, well, they work less, the schedule's lighter. All right then, I'm glad I didn't get you. Because if you're not in it for the grind, at that point early in your career, you have no business being here." Now, Will Ospreay last wrestled in a victory over Powerhouse Hobbs on the April 3rd edition of AEW Dynamite. Of course, the Aerial Assassin will face off against Bryan Danielson in a first-time ever dream match on April 21st at AEW Dynasty. But what do you make of Triple H's comments? Do you think they were directed towards Will Ospreay? What are your thoughts on it? And do you think he's right with what he's saying? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Now, let's talk about WrestleMania. Of course, the anticipation is building. There is SmackDown tonight, there's the Hall of Fame, and then there is WrestleMania, and it kicks off tomorrow night at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. And with WrestleMania 40 now just a day away, a new report from the Wrestling Observer newsletter details what is believed to be the match order as of last week. Now, of course, as Dave Meltzer was sure to point out, the actual bouts each night are official, but the order could indeed change. Meltzer also noted that the plan was to do 4 long matches on night 1, and those matches have shots at being exceptional and are likely to be very different. Now, the match order for night 1, according to the report, is Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's World Championship opening up the show. Next, we have the 6-pack ladder match for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships featuring the Awesome Truth, The New Day, A-Town Down Under, New Catch Republic, and DIY challenging the Judgment Day. Then we have Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio facing Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. We then have the brother versus brother clash as Jey Uso faces off against Jimmy Uso. The 6-woman tag team match as Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi face Damage Control. The penultimate match of night 1 according to this report anyway, is going to be for the Intercontinental Championship, with Sami Zayn trying to take the title away from the record-holding Gunther. And finally, we know, of course, the main event of Night 1 of WrestleMania 40 is going to be the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes teaming up with the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins to face off against the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns and the final boss, The Rock. Now, the matches Meltzer cited as scheduled to be long were Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, the ladder match, Zayn vs. Gunther, and the main event, noting that with the Bloodline rules on the line for Night 2's Reigns vs. Rhodes showdown, it would be likely to have a significant amount of interference. Now, as for Night 2, the report has it planned out that it's going to be around the two big world title matches, and Meltzer points out that with the main event scheduled for both nights, Roman Reigns is set to bring his career total to 9 WrestleMania main events, which will become one more than Hulk Hogan's record of 8. The reported match order for Night 2 is as follows. Opening the show reportedly is going to be the World Heavyweight Championship match with Seth Rollins defending against Drew McIntyre. Next, we're going to have the Pride, which of course is Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, facing off against the Final Testament, that's AOP and Karrion Kross, in a Philadelphia street fight. That will be followed by LA Knight versus AJ Styles, which will then be followed by the triple threat match for the United States Championship as Logan Paul defends against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. The penultimate match of Night 2 will be the Women's Championship match as Io Sky defends against the Women's Royal Rumble winner Bayley. And of course, the main event of WrestleMania Night 2 will be the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship bout as Roman Reigns defends against Cody Rhodes. Now, the main event, capping off WrestleMania weekend, should come with, quote, a lot of booking twists and turns, according to Meltzer, with either Reigns or Rhodes versus The Rock set up in the aftermath. So just to confirm, coming out of WrestleMania, we're either going to have Roman Reigns versus The Rock set up or Cody Rhodes versus The Rock set up. Now, Meltzer says, quote, so much depends on The Rock's schedule and his opinion that Rhodes versus Rock is the bigger match and Rock has an eye on maximizing business. Still, Meltzer said, quote, Rock versus Reigns is also a gigantic match and the one that was talked about even before the pandemic. And again, in wrestling, just about everything is subject to change, but per Meltzer, this is the order to expect for what is primed to be a weekend fans will remember for years to come. So what do you make of that, and what are your last minute predictions for some of these matches at WrestleMania? Let me know your thoughts about that too. There's been so much discussion and rumor and hints and speculation about these 3 WWE icons on the screen right now and what involvement they will or won't have at WrestleMania this year. Now, ever since The Rock's bloody beatdown of Cody Rhodes on the March 25 edition of Raw, a segment which saw a production truck in the background featuring Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin on it, speculation has been rampant regarding a potential WrestleMania 40 appearance for both legends. Similarly, whenever WrestleMania comes around, it's hard not to think of The Undertaker, perhaps the star most synonymous with the yearly extravaganza. So, just a day out from WrestleMania 40 kicking off, we have a new update on the statuses of Cena, Austin, and Taker, courtesy of Dave Meltzer's latest Wrestling Observer newsletter. Meltzer writes, quote, John Cena will be shooting the second season of Peacemaker starting in June. The last word we got was he was free that day, would like to do it, but physically would be limited. When asked about Cena, Undertaker, and Austin, the answer was they were not going to wrestle in matches, which at this point would be the expected answer. Meltzer had previously reported that WWE had been in discussions with all 3 about potential returns at WrestleMania. Cena, of course, last competed inside of a WWE ring at Crown Jewel in November of last year, where he convincingly lost to the Bloodline Solo Sikoa. The Undertaker has shown no signs of coming out of retirement. Stone Cold Steve Austin, though, he did that just 2 years ago at WrestleMania 38, where he defeated Kevin Owens. Of course, if we get any more details, last-minute updates on the status of all 3 WWE legends there, we'll let you know. Now, what about Roman Reigns? Of course, he's going to be in the main event. He's going to set the record for the most WrestleMania main events in WWE history this weekend. But what's his schedule looking like coming out of WrestleMania? Well, his schedule isn't going to get any busier, put it that way. Now, since defeating Brock Lesnar to claim the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 38, Roman Reigns has wrestled just 16 matches on television and premium live events. However, at WrestleMania 40, the Tribal Chief will wrestle twice, teaming with The Rock on Night 1 before facing Cody Rhodes on Night 2. Ahead of of the singles match with Rhodes, Reigns teased that he could leave WWE altogether if he's defeated. While few expect Reigns to follow through with that threat, he looks likely to take some time off following the spectacular in Philadelphia. Writing in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer noted that Reigns will likely be out of the ring for at least 6 weeks after the event. He said, quote, "I don't think anyone believes Reigns would retire with a loss, and WWE has taught fans not to believe it, but given his schedule, it's probable he'd take some time off. Given his limited schedule, one wouldn't even expect him to show again until the as yet unannounced next Saudi Arabia show, last word being on May 25th, and the August 3rd SummerSlam show in Cleveland." Now, again, this isn't an indication that Reigns is going to lose or drop the title because he always takes time off after WrestleMania, so again, we'll have to wait and see what happens then. Now, the original plan, of course, for WrestleMania 40 was to have Roman Reigns facing off against his cousin, The Rock, and The Rock to be a big babyface, something The Rock has confirmed in a new interview today. The Rock has confirmed the original plan for WrestleMania 40's main event, sharing his honest thoughts on WWE's decision to pivot, with The Rock teasing that he wanted to sit at the head of the table during his appearance on the January 1st edition of Raw. It appeared that WWE was building towards a Rock versus Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania 40. While Cody Rhodes ultimately won the Royal Rumble, the popular star stepped aside to allow The Rock to have a stare down with Roman Reigns on the February 2nd edition of SmackDown. After a lot of backlash and a "We Want Cody" movement, it was later announced that Cody Rhodes will be challenging for Roman Reigns' undisputed Universal title at WrestleMania, with The Rock turning heel and siding with the Bloodline faction. Speaking on the Will Kane show, The Rock confirmed that he and Roman Reigns were originally set to headline WrestleMania 40 against one another. Sharing his honest thoughts on the fan reaction and the decision to change plans, The Rock said, quote, "The original plan was for me to come back as the babyface, the big babyface, come back from face Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship and put on here in Philadelphia the biggest main event of all time. I believe the qualities of a good leader, not to say that I am a good leader, but I believe the qualities of a good leader is one who has the ability to pivot, but also make sure that you listen to the people. As I came back, I started to realize that while fans loved the idea of The Rock and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, there was also this other storyline building that they'd been invested in for a couple of years with a guy named Cody Rhodes, who, wrestling royalty, Dusty Rhodes is his dad, Dustin Rhodes is his brother. One or two things could have happened in that moment, and this happened in January. We could have either kept trucking through. I'm a director of the board. I've got a little bit of influence here in the WWE. We could have kept trucking through. The thing that bugged me, I was in Hawaii and I realized, man, there's a segment of fans who are just disappointed. It hurt my heart to think that. Well, I don't want to truck through and leave these fans disappointed. But not only that, we also got a guy in Cody Rhodes who's been working his ass off for years now. This is his story, who, by the way, Cody, as we speak very openly here, could not be a better human being. The Rock and Roman Reigns will now battle Cody Rhodes and World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins in the main event of WrestleMania 40 Night 1. Of course, the stipulation is, if Rhodes and Rollins win, the Bloodline will be banned from ringside for Rhodes' WWE Undisputed Universal title match against Roman Reigns on Night 2. But if the Bloodline win, if the Final Boss and the Tribal Chief are victorious, the WrestleMania 40 Night 2 main event will be contested under Bloodline rules. Now, it's been an eventful week for Cody Rhodes. Not so much because his tour bus caught on fire. Yes, in just, again, a couple of days, Cody Rhodes will challenge Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship in the main event of WrestleMania. But before he steps onto WWE's grandest stage, Rhodes has revealed some rather scary news. As announced on X, Rhodes' tour bus, which is currently sponsored by Wheatley American Vodka, unexpectedly caught fire Thursday evening. Luckily, with the help of the Philadelphia Fire Department, all occupants were safely evacuated. Rhodes was even able to snag 2 undisclosed items off his bus as well. Here's what he had to say, quote, "Before you hear it elsewhere, my tour bus caught on fire last night. Everybody is safe and okay. The 2 items I grabbed before I got off will probably pop wrestling fans. Again, thank you, Philadelphia Fire Department." And with his tour bus successfully extinguished, Rhodes, of course, now will pivot his attention to WrestleMania. We get any more details on that, of course, in the future. We'll let you know. Now, speaking of Rhodes as well, he's also got some pretty big plans. With Vince McMahon out of the equation, WWE has well and truly stepped into a new era. The only problem is that no one in the company or among the fan base really knows what to call this era. The Attitude Era, of course, is the stuff of legend, and the Ruthless Aggression Era gave WWE some of its biggest ever stars. But now more more than ever, WWE is attempting to move away from its illustrious history and look towards the future. Now, during a new interview with Fox News, Cody Rhodes threw his weight behind the Renaissance era while heaping praise on Nick Khan. Rhodes explained that WWE's recent success means the company has finally been able to move out of the shadow of the Attitude Era. He said, quote, "I've heard it coined as the Renaissance Era, and I really like that outlook on it. For me as a wrestler, I'm most excited that we no longer have to stand in the shadow of the Attitude Era because of the last 2 years we've done better business than they ever did, and they did exceptional, unbelievable, amazing business. I'm only making comparisons on a black and white level, dollars and cents, in terms of what WWE's been able to do over the last 2 years. I mentioned Renaissance because of all the things we're trying, the changing of the programming and also the characters, they now appeal differently. Every year has its signature thing. There was Hulkamania, Eat Your Vitamins and Say Your Prayers. There was Attitude Era, the Jerry Springer type Crash TV. Now we have a more reach across the aisle and connect to the audience type relatable superstars. We still have larger than life, no doubt, but that's all going into this very, like I said, Renaissance era. Now, Cody Rhodes has taken things one step further and filed a trademark for the Renaissance era for himself, Cody Rhodes, and we'll see how that plays out. Speaking of Cody Rhodes, his wife Brandi has addressed her departure from AEW, something that Cody Rhodes said still bothers him to this day when it comes to the narrative and the speculation about her after they departed the company in 2022. Now, Brandi Rhodes feels that AEW moved away from its original vision. In February 2022, Cody and Brandi Rhodes shocked the wrestling world by announcing they would be leaving AEW. The couple played a huge role in getting the company off the ground, with Cody serving as executive vice president as well as a talent, while Brandi was AEW's chief brand officer. Cody has since said that exits were due to a personal issue, but the details remain unknown. Speaking to Progress News, Brandi discussed her exit and said the company has drifted from the original vision. She said, quote, "What I feared with that company, I was seeing before my eyes. When you start to see things drift from the original vision, and I've seen this happen before, when you start to think this may not be what we thought it was." So what do you make of what Brandi said there? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below too. As I mentioned, big weekend and a historic one for WWE because it's going to be the first WrestleMania truly with no Vince McMahon influence, and people in the company, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, are very excited. Now, ahead of WrestleMania 39 last year, Vince McMahon had forced his way back into the company not long after he'd started affecting and making changes to creative. Even though he didn't directly deal with the creative team, he'd eventually make adjustments and call in to disapprove of elements of the show or people involved until WrestleMania weekend. Now, McMahon hadn't been seen around at shows for months, but reappeared during last year's WrestleMania weekend. Fightful has heard of at least one match that he outright changed the finish to, switching the winner and loser. Now, Fightful have been told that Vince McMahon had long been in favour of Roman Reigns retaining over Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 39, but that result had actually been decided well ahead of time, so Vince really didn't have any influence on it. Now, though, a year later, things have changed significantly. Now, Mr. McMahon, as he was known on WWE television, has zero influence over this year's WrestleMania, either himself or by proxy. Numerous higher-ups in WWE have stated they believe there is no incentive to further any creative preferences or agendas McMahon has. They also believe McMahon is also far more concerned about the very real issues facing him regarding Janelle Grant and other incidents. Quote, "An aura of excitement," end quote, is how one top talent told Fightful things feel this week. They reiterated they don't put the disgusting acts McMahon is alleged to have perpetrated in the rear view, but that cloud of him possibly forcing his way back in to, quote, "fuck up everyone's good time," end quote, is no longer there. Beyond his influence no longer being felt within WWE, Fightful have been told that Vince McMahon wasn't expected to pop up at the show either. That being said, several of the sources who told Fightful that said that sometimes McMahon appearances haven't really been wanted in the past. Now, WWE Raw after WrestleMania is another point of excitement for several that Fightful spoke to in WWE, as this year it will truly be unimpeded. Numerous people in the company they heard from said that they haven't truly felt like the show was an event in years, and now it has much more of a possibility of being the type of show that fans remember. While McMahon's influence up until then had only been reported, he showed up at last year's Raw after WrestleMania and made sweeping changes that led to one of the most universally panned episodes of Raw in history. Numerous talent and agents said they believe the original plans for the show were much better before Vince interfered. Quote, there were still a few tickets on StubHub, one WWE official told Fightful, declining to say much else about Vince McMahon. So certainly, again, it's going to be a very interesting weekend now that Vince McMahon is no longer involved in the company. Now, the Hall of Fame, of course, is this evening after SmackDown. A bit of an update when it comes to The Undertaker having some possible involvement. Now, a new report has revealed that The Undertaker is planned to at least make an appearance during tonight's induction ceremony. According to PW Insider Elite, the word making the rounds is that The Undertaker could be inducting Muhammad Ali. However, the original Variety article announced that Ali's induction a couple of weeks ago had already noted that he would be inducted by his widow, Lonnie Ali. However, it could be a case where The Undertaker is doing the intro and the speech is being done by his widow, so we'll have to wait and see. But The Undertaker could be involved in the ceremony this evening. Now, let's talk about WrestleMania and a brawl happening before their match this weekend, because WWE superstars AJ Styles and LA Knight were involved in a brawl at a press event ahead of their match at WrestleMania 40. This is what happened during today's April 5th media junket press event. This turned into a brawl.
Everyone back, please.
Guys, we gotta back up. Everybody back up. Yeah. Back up.
Guys, back, please.
Guys. Come on, guys. Guys, come on. LA.
Oh, he's holding my hair now.
AJ, come on. AJ, come on, guys. Save it for the ring. Come on, guys. Come on. AJ, come on. Come on, man. LA, come on, man. Not now, not here.
You feel like a freaking star?
Not here.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, are you?
Come on, guys.
Yeah, show me. Show me.
I will.
AJ, we don't need to do this here. Come on. LA,
Yeah, show
walk.
me.
Walk out with me. Walk out with me.
Yeah. Just ask to walk out.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sunday.
Guys,
Sunday
guys,
tonight.
wait.
You gonna be at SmackDown, pussy? You gonna be there?
Come on. Come on.
The action continuing even outside of the ring. Now, some news when it comes to Bayley as well. She's made a bit of an unfortunate announcement ahead of WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. Now, with Bayley set to compete in one of WrestleMania 40 weekend's marquee world title belts, the role model had hoped to mark the special occasion with an extra special entrance. In a movement fueled by the hashtag Paramore for Mania, fans have been hoping to see the self-professed mega fan of the rock group Paramore, Bayley, secure the band to perform a special entrance for her ahead of her women's title match with Io Sky. Bayley specifically wanted to use Paramore's lead singer Hayley Williams to perform her 2020 track Simmer, even asking Williams directly whether she could use the track. Although Williams gave Bayley permission to use the song, it seems like all hope securing the band to perform it live are gone, unfortunately, as revealed by Bayley in a post on social media. She said, quote, "Dear loyal sheep, I did everything in my power to get my dream WrestleMania entrance, but due to scheduling, it isn't in the stars this year. Someday, so until then, enjoy the official Bayley vs. Io Sky Mania hype video featuring Simmer by Hayley Williams. Thank you, Paramore and WWE." And finally, some interesting news when it comes to the Tag Team Championship ladder match at WrestleMania 40. We could have a bit of a strange conclusion here. Now, on the April 1st edition of Raw, WWE all but confirmed the tag team titles would be split up for the first time since May 2022. The Raw and SmackDown titles have been treated as one entity since the Usos defeated RK Bro on May 20th of that year. Since then, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have held the gold, as well as Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, and current champions, the Judgment Day. However, on Raw, Michael Cole said that all 4 title belts will be suspended above the ring for the 6-pack tag team ladder match at WrestleMania. Writing in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer discussed the changes, saying, quote, "They mentioned that both the Raw and SmackDown tag titles will be held above the ring, and the match will continue until all 4 belts are retrieved. They have not brought up the possibility of one team getting down one set of belts and another team getting the other, but by the description it sounded that was a possibility. It's not being promoted as such directly." Now, Meltzer added that he was told as of last week that Pretty Deadly were listed internally for the match despite losing a qualifier. He said, quote, "For reasons unknown to me, because they had already been knocked out of the tournament, Pretty Deadly was internally listed for this match as late as a week ago. There has become more and more talk about the potential to create 2 champions in this match, so picking a winner is weird because there could be 2 winners. The gambling odds are favoring The Miz and R-Truth." But there you go, guys. This is the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.